Hey everybody, Seth with Jenson USA, and today we're going to be looking at our 5 favorite flat pedal shoes. Now when it comes time to choose our 5 favorites, we don't just go by our opinions, which we have a lot of, and these do definitely make our list, but we also look to see what our customers are purchasing and the reviews that these products get. And one of the things that ties all these shoes together is that they're all right about $100-ish, give or take just a few dollars here and there. So these are a fairly value-oriented shoe where you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. So let's take a look, starting at the veterans who got kind of this movement really going, and then we'll take a look at all the competitors. Now, 510 has been doing this the longest out of all these brands, and they really set the standard for everybody. 510 got their start out of Redlands, California, making rock climbing shoes, and they brought that technology and that knowledge about how to make really sticky rubber that held to the rocks, and they applied it to their mountain bike shoes. And what that does is make the pin contact really strong, really engaged, so that as you're going charging down the trails and hitting chunder, big jumps, your foot's going to kind of stay locked in, but you still have that ability to pick it up and pull off in case of some sort of bailout situation that you need, or maybe you're throwing down super rad tricks. Now this is the Freerider canvas, which is not their most expensive shoe, and it doesn't necessarily have all the most the most abundant set of features, but it is one of their most popular selling shoes. It is a canvas outsole here, allows a little bit more breathability. It does have a little bit of an issue where if you're riding in wet weather and stuff, this can actually retain some of that moisture a bit, but they will dry out fairly quickly. Now they have a couple of features going on with the nice stiff sole, and that is one thing that makes for a really good all mountain or downhill mountain bike flat pedal shoe, and that's because you can put a lot of power transfer down and feel really confident in that platform. They also have some reinforcements around the toe and the heel, so if you are going to hit rocks or anything like that, these shoes are going to hold up pretty well. Now the standout feature on this is their stealth rubber, and that is just a specifically designed rubber that is world-renowned for being just super grippy, and you can see with their dotty pattern here to give you a little bit of grip if you ever have a hike-a-bike situation. I will say this is not like going to be the grippiest stuff in some situations because it is pretty smooth, but that smoothness helps to give you a little more engagement into your pins on your pedal. Beyond that, I don't have too many gripes about these shoes. I've used them a lot myself. They're actually my go-to pump track shoe right now. But I don't love their laces, and not because they're big or whatever and they have pretty colors, but actually because they're really long and there isn't any sort of place to tuck these away. So I would love to see some sort of retention or pocket or something going on with these to do that. And they do have a few other models that actually kind of compensate for that. And it's always easy to replace laces. Now, let's look at RC component or RC shoes, also known as ride concepts, and these were birthed out of the idea that 510 needed some competition, and so a group of people got together and made these shoes, and they are rad. First of all, I love the colorways myself. They have really interesting colors. They're nice and light. They have a lot of really cool features, including D3O, or the stuff that's kind of squishy underneath your hands, and then when you hit it hard, it stiffens up a little bit. They have D3O here in the heel cup, and that's to kind of take away some of the impact when you do big drops and stuff like that. They have a TPU reinforcement on the heel and the toe, so definitely a lot of abrasion resistance. They have dual density materials in here for comfort, and one thing that I'm a huge fan of is they have a fully gusseted tongue, and that means this tongue can move and kind of adjust to your foot, but it's not going to rotate inside your shoe and get kind of weird things. Another thing that I'm digging on a lot is this little strap right here, and for the same reasons I was frustrated with the laces on 510s, this actually allows you to tuck your laces in there and tuck them away nicely. Last thing is they have this kind of hexagon pattern here from Rubber Kinetics that is really grippy. The debate is always, is it as grippy as Stealth rubber? And you know, I don't have scientific tests to prove it, but we have been really impressed with how grippy this is, and our customers are saying the same thing. So super cool shoes. Again, a bunch of different shoes in their lineup that have various features. So this is the Livewire here, and definitely a great shoe for kind of the all mountain rider, but they also have stuff for DH and other types of riding, including SPDs. Next up, we're going to take a look at these Northwave Tribe shoes, and this is definitely the most street looking version of all the shoes we have here. As you can kind of look across, these all have a pretty reinforced look to their outsole, whereas this shoe almost looks like a daily kick around that you could wear like a pair of Vans or something. And that is one of the really cool benefits of this, is you could go from the trail and go, you know, hit a pub or something afterwards and just change out your shorts and you would look like you're wearing street shoes. Another feature that some people are going to love, some people may not be such a fan of, is their sole. And that is basically that it's more flexible than what we've seen in either the 510 or the Ride Concepts. Now, the reason I say some people are going to love that and some people aren't is, for me personally, I like a really stiff sole and like to kind of have a lot of power transfer there. But I know a lot of my friends, especially coming from like the BMX side, who love kind of more of a skate shoe feeling thing that allows them to really grip that pedal using their foot. So if you're looking for a visceral feel, this is a really good option in that. One thing we got to touch on again is this does have that lace retention system across the top, and we're a big fan of that because it's just going to keep those laces right in place. Now, they partnered with Michelin to create their soles. It is another sticky compound rubber, this time with like a triangular pattern. The pattern is uniform across the shoe, so it's primarily going to be focused at pedal grip, but it is going to provide some pretty decent hike-a-bike grip for you. So this is a great option if you're looking for something a little bit more street oriented and a little bit more flexible to really grip those pedals with your feet. Now, next up is Giro, and we all know Giro. Big company in the cycling industry, been making a ton of great products, and we have their Jacket shoe here. And the Jacket is, you know, a little bit more typical to what we saw here again with the way the outsole shape. We do have the reinforced toes and heels. And then they've actually partnered with Vibram, and you've probably heard of them from various hiking shoes and water shoes and things like that. And they make really cool rubber soles. And so they've partnered with them. And this one's actually real unique in that it actually has a variation on the pattern. So you can see it's kind of these hexagon-ish circular things going on at the heel and toe to provide better hiking. And then a slightly different pattern of these like opposing triangles that are close and tight together and a little bit shallow for your pedal grip. And that's basically to try to give you the best of both worlds. So that way when you're pedaling, you have tons of grip, but when you get off the bike and have to push back up the trail to go session a section, you're gonna have a ton of grip. Now, one knock on these shoes, because I do like them a lot, is they do not have a lace integration system on them. So you are gonna have to either have your laces flopping or sometimes do the things that I've done, which is actually tuck my laces into the side of my shoe. But I'd love to see some sort of integration on here. Now, I will say these are crazy light, and I do like that a lot. So if you're looking for a light shoe with good grip, this is definitely a great option. Now, last on our list is one that a lot of riders are really big fans of for a lot of really good reasons. And I think it gives the Ride Concepts and the 510s a serious run for their money. Now, it does have a little bit of a premium price on the rest of these. It is just slightly more expensive, but not brutally more expensive, but just a little bit more. But with that price comes some feature sets that I think are really cool. As you can see, we already have our laces integrated into this retention strap here. And then it's got some cool things. Not only does it have a reinforced toe here, but you can actually see that kind of extends all the way over the toe box. So again, abrasion resistance. Think about if you were to have some sort of foot strike on a rock or something. That's just going to protect your toes, keep water out from in this area, but it's still a very breathable shoe. The other thing that's pretty cool is a TPU rear enforced heel. And then one of my favorite features on this is this kind of cupped insert here. And what that does is it actually like holds your foot fully into this, keeps clutter from getting out or getting inside your shoe, and just really keeps things nice and secure in there. Super comfortable, and also an incredibly light shoe out of all of these. Now they use a different material on here for the 2FO shoe, but it is a very grippy compound. And one thing that's kind of unique is they have these recessed patterns. So similar to what we saw on the Giro, you have a lot more grip in your big toe area here and down in your heel, and you actually have this other piece that's actually kind of a strike plate. So for those hike-a-bike sections or walking around town, this is going to be a really grippy, really comfortable shoe, and it's going to have a ton of grip on the pedal itself. We're a big fan of the Specialized 2FO and think it is an awesome competitor to what we've got here, and we're excited to have this in our lineup. So if you're looking for something that's light, great hike-a-bike, and has a little bit of like extra, in a sense, like weather or debris protection, this is a fantastic option. As always, all these brands carry multiple different shoes in this, and a lot of these feature sets you're going to see on various styles within those brands. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our gear advisors for any help. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for more videos comparing products like this. And as always, remember, keep pedaling.